Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you guys? Welcome to another session. Here we are with the Riyadh Java user group again with the series of talks, online talks we are conducting. So please, if you would like to see the previous sessions, go please to the YouTube channel, Riyadh Jag, and you'll find all the previous sessions over there. Today we have special guests with a special topic that we haven't really spoken about since we began this Java user group. Today we have brother Maqsud Mohammad. Salam alaikum, brother.
Walaikum assalam. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
No problem. It's my pleasure to be with you, to share my knowledge.
Thank you so much. So today we have Maqsud Mohammad. He is based in UK. He is the head of DevSecOps department, working there for the Shift Left group. He's being an active member in the communities and sharing the knowledge. And today he's going to show us very good stuff regarding the AI and the generative code. So we are very, very excited, and the community is really excited for this session. So without further ado, the stage is yours, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for the kind words, Brother Mohammad. So the way I formatted this session today is I call this AI Beyond Code because it's an assumption that most of the developers know about the Copilot, the GitHub Copilot, and the other AI tools that we have at our disposal with regards to the IDEs or ChatGPT. So this session, I thought I will go beyond the code to explore the use cases of generative AI. So the format is I'll go through a set of slides, and at the end, I'll give a short demo of what Gen AI can do. And after the demo, I'll open the floor for any questions that you might have. So I'll start off. The first question is, you guys all can see my screen, right? So I presume you all can see my screen. I thought it's interactive. Looks like it's a one-way. I'll start by sharing my screen. Before I go into the topic, I would like to tell you just a couple of slides. I won't take much of time, just 2 minutes to say who we are as a company. We are a Shift Left group who are based in the UK, providing quality engineering services. We are acquired by a bigger company called Planet, who are based in Australia, and Planet in turn are acquired by NRI, who are based in Japan, Nomura Research Institute. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. They're into management consultancy, and Planet is into quality engineering, and Shift Left, it's UK focused, and I am hired to build their DevSecOps capability. The set of services that we do is called Utopia, and then we do thought leadership, technical leadership, and managerial leadership, and we do all aspects of the SDLC, right from left to the right. So what is generative AI? Most of the guys, I mean, it's ever since the ChatGPT 3.5, the initial version came out, not the 3.5, but the previous version of 3.5, it created a kind of a storm in the industry with what it can do, the capabilities it has. So generative AI is like it's an artificial intelligence that creates new original content like text, images, music, code, etc. by learning patterns from the data it was trained on. It is like having a creative assistant, like the Jarvis in Iron Man series. Most of you might have watched it. It basically, it won't create the 3D models yet, but it'll do the rest of the stuff. Like it can be your intelligent assistant. It can automate tasks, provide insights, all based on patterns it has learned, obviously, based on the data it's trained on. And finally, Gen AI is transforming industries by enabling new levels of efficiency, innovation, and personalization. What powers generative AI? Most of us are aware of the term large language models. But behind the scenes, I mean, these are the three key components of generative AI: the transformers and attention mechanisms, and computational infrastructure. Unless we are building LLMs, we don't need to worry about the transformers and attention mechanisms and computation infrastructure. Um, it's for the big tech or for companies like Aramco, who are investing heavily into building LLMs specifically for their use case. There are limitations with generative AI. Most of us think that generative AI is intelligent and it gives, it can pretty much do anything, but it's a misnomer. There are certain limitations for generative AI too. For example, the Chat GPT, when the initial versions of Chat GPT, and even now the Chat GPT 4.0, it has a cutoff date. They are trained on vast data sets, the publicly available data sets. But the problem is the data sets is fixed until a specific point in time. And the limitation with that is it only has the contextual information until the time it was trained on. For example, GPT 3.5 was trained on data until September 2021. So if you ask ChatGPT 3.5 specifically, any questions relating to the recent presidential elections happening in the US, who are the contestants, or it might not have an answer. And what it might do is it might hallucinate and give some random answers because it's trained to generate content. So if it doesn't have the context, it just hallucinates and throws up some random content. LLMs have a static knowledge base, which means they cannot update their understanding of the world or learn new information post training. So once the cutoff is done of the training, that's it. LLMs, it's static knowledge base. Um, and another limitation is their general purpose, and they're not finely tuned for specific tasks or workflows. Like for example, want to ask, you have a PDF and you load the PDF and ask questions. It might not know unless the PDF is part of the training, as part of the training data. And with GPT kind of models, it's a linear, so it's a single input output basis, which means they don't interact with other systems in your if you have an enterprise system, in state, it might not interact. And the lastly, LLMs struggle with maintaining long-term context. However, having said that, GPT have released a new version wherein they are releasing the reasoning models, which means when you ask it a question, generates an answer, it might reason, it might think whether the answer that it's generating is correct, whether it has all the right ingredients for the answer, reasons, and then tries to regenerate the output. It's currently work in progress. It's in beta phase. So with these limitations, we have retrieval augmented generation, RAG, and agentic AI, which helps address those limitations, some of those limitations. What is RAG? You might ask. RAG basically retrieval augmented generation, as it's called. It basically equips the LLM models with
Sorry, brother, your voice is lost. Sorry, brother, your voice is lost. Uh, Brother Maqsud, your voice is lost. Hello, brother. Voice is lost. We can't hear you. Hello, brother Maqsud. Can you hear me, brother? Maqsud, brother. Can you hear me, brother? Uh, we can't hear you, brother. Hello, brother Maqsud. Uh, we can't hear you, brother. Sorry. Hello, audience. Can you hear me? Please post in the chat. Brother Maqsud. Hello, brother. Can you see the? Can you look into the comments, please? uh, I think we lost him now. Yeah, yeah. The only issue with him. Yeah, I will try to do something good. I will try to remove him so he will not be able to see his screen. So try to remove him. Yeah, yeah. Hello, brother. Oh my God. Brother Maqsud, hi, how are you? I think he is. I think we need to work this out. How can we? Uh, Problem is, I tried to send him on his also private chat everywhere. Uh, I understand the speaker sometimes. I understand the speaker sometimes. If he speaks, he's under very stressed mode, so he can't focus on any other in any other channels. It happened to me, so let me give another 5 minutes. Yeah, now I think now he is going to rejoin because I removed him from the stage. So I think he is going uh, to ask to be to ask the permission to come again for sure. So hopefully he will join again. Yeah, he's
Uh,
hello, brother,
got
brother.
disconnected. Sorry, I kept on chatting.
No, no, it's okay, brother. We lost you actually for maybe 7 to 10 minutes. Your voice is
Oh
lost.
man,
Yeah, I
can
couldn't
you
see the chat.
could you see my slides or
Yeah,
even it's
we
flex
could
lost?
see your slide. We could see your face. Can you read the comments? Can you read the comments in the?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Can you reshare your screen, please? Then you can go back. I will tell you where we stopped. I
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry.
No, no, it's
Sorry.
okay.
Dada.
It's all right.
So where should I start?
I will tell you. Go back from beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Move, 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 move. Yeah, go, going, going, going. Yeah, I think we stopped here. Go back and this rescue. Go back one step.
This one here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly here.
So what I will do is I won't.
So
Thing is,
go ahead, no problem.
okay. I'll start from here.
Yep.
Okay. RAG. Can you guys hear me? I will keep checking the comments. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll start again. I mean, Brother Moth just told me that I've been chatting away for the last 10 minutes without you guys hearing my voice. So I'll start with RAG again. Where is RAG? Yeah. Uh, RAG is retrieval augmented generation. Basically, what it does is it expands the GenAI's knowledge, the LLM's knowledge base. What it gives is it gives contextual information for the LLM to act upon and give more relevant content. Um, like I was in the previous slides, I was mentioning that when GPT 3.5 is trained until September 2021. So if I ask it what's happening with the US presidential election, who are the main candidates, it might not have the information. So it might still, but LLMs are trained to respond, so it might still respond with some hallucination. So with RAG, what will happen is I can give it contextual information. I can load a PDF or a Word document or even a web URL with all the latest updates on the presidential election. And then I can then ask LLM what's happening with the presidential election, and it will instead of hallucinating, it gives up to date information because it has got the contextual information. So basically, RAG helps in reducing the LLM hallucinations. To give you an idea, this is the architecture. So when you interact with ChatGPT or Google Gemini, from the user interface, it goes directly to the LLM and the response comes back. But with RAG, what happens is it goes to the retrieval model, and the retrieval model is where the relevancy search happens. So when you ask what's happening with the US presidential election, it goes to the retrieval model, and what it does is it does a vector search to get, or even the term you can call it semantic search, to get the relevant contextual information from the RAG. When I say from RAG, it's either structured or structured data. In this case, I'm loading it with a PDF. So it goes and gets the contextual information. And what it does is, with the prompt, it sends the context to the LLM. Now, LLM now can generate the response based on the prompt and the contextual information. So instead of hallucinating, I now get proper response back. So the next tool is Agentic AI. And what Agentic AI does is it enables automation. It reduces the man in the middle kind of task. So with Agentic AI, it can automatically go and fetch the document, load it into the RAG, and then when I ask it the question, when the user interacts with the LLMs, or when the user interacts with the Gen AI system, as I call it, I won't call it LLM, but a Gen AI system, it goes and gets the contextual information because the agents, the AI agents, already did the background task of getting the loading the RAG with the relevant data, uh, uh, and it now responds, with the context information. The other use cases of agentic AI or agents, AI agents are uh, it can analyze the data from an Excel sheet. Um, it can run formulas. It can even convert if you're loading what you call, if your Excel sheet is with the forex information, and in one of the column you have a US dollar, and then you want to convert it into local currency. And basically the AI agents, what it can do is it can go and get the recent transaction, or the conversion rate, and generate the data. It can do all sorts of automation, tasks. Like for example, you guys are into coding, so these AI agents can even talk to GitHub repository, check out the code, make changes to the code, commit, raise pull requests for a developer to review, basically. So it does most of the the manual tasks. It can even generate the test cases. Basically, they open up a plethora of possibilities for providing personalized assistance, autonomous, even creating autonomous agents. This frees up human resources to focus on strategic initiatives driving greater productivity. Um, yes, AI agents will commit the code. Yeah, they can create a branch. They can. I will in the demo. I will show you what it can do. It can even talk to Jira. You can just create a Jira ticket, um, and then ask the just send it a task, give it a task to read the Jira ticket and act on it. One of the key things with generative AI is prompt engineering. There's a concept called prompt engineering, which I did not cover in these slides, but just to, since you've asked, without the right prompt, you might not get what you want. It's the same like when, when the product owner creates a story, and then if he just, in the story, if he just says, a vague user story, what can I say? Add item to the basket. You know, if you just give a vague, say, a vague Jira ticket saying, it should add item to the basket. A developer might scratch his head and say, okay, there are many use cases. Can you be more specific about, what are the options for the product? Whether it has size, color, or it could be, there are different product categories, all sorts of information. So even with generative AI, you have to give a right prompt. Without the right prompt, you might not get the expected outcome. So this is the architecture of agents, AI agents. It's the same with RAG, but now you have AI agents, and the LLMs now, before they respond, the agents take over and say, "Hang on, before sending the response, let me go through it," and then and these agents can do the reasoning. You can have multiple agents. You can you can create as many agents as you want, and then these agents can talk to each other. For example, you have ChatGPT 3.5, right? And then once it generates a response, you can take the response, feed it into Grok, and say, okay, Grok, come on, this is the response from ChatGPT. Can you go through it and tell me whether there are any whether the information is accurate or not? And Grok can respond, and then you can accept the Grok's response, or you can even further create another agent which takes Grok's response and go talk to another LLM. AI can be a paid programmer. Yeah, it can be a team member. Definitely. There are some stats about state of AI from McKinsey Global Survey. It basically says AI adoption is surging, and most of the companies are beginning to take generative AI on board. And I think even in Saudi Arabia, there's a big push by the Saudi government with regards to generative AI. I think Aramco has invested, I don't know how many billions in creating their own specialized LLM to deal with the tons of data that they have. And Aramco is already finding, the benefits. It can, yeah. One of the other things with generative AI is it's as good as your data is. So if your data is not good, unfortunately, generative AI can't do much. So one of the challenges I will talk through those in the further slides is the data readiness of of your company, of of any organization. So why generative AI? And the key is it reduces manual processes, which it can automate repetitive, time-consuming tasks, allowing us to focus on more higher value activities. I mentioned this before. It can work with structured and unstructured data. Examples of tasks that can be automated are data analysis, report generation, customer support, code generation, code documentation, and even creating manual test cases. Um, in our company, we created this product called Amplify, which basically can be deployed. We created this product to work with our test engineers, and what it does is it creates the test cases, based on the scenario. Um, the intelligent data processing. Analysis and categorization of large volumes of data, creating valuable insights, uncovering trends, patterns, and anomalies that might otherwise go unnoticed. Like I mentioned previously, you might have, if you're working, most of the companies, they still have Excel, workbooks with tons of data in it. And I don't know how many man hours are spent going through the data to find patterns, trends, and anomalies. With Gen AI, with autonomous agents and RAG, it can all be automated. All you have to do is ask for the patterns, and then you have to be the man in the middle to see whether it's giving the right insights. Automation of critical tasks. AI-driven automation can automate 60 to 70% of tasks. Uh, Automating data entry and extraction. Basically, it can automate the whole the data pipeline of data entry and extraction, improving efficiency, innovation, driving innovation, and helps focus on more strategic and value-added tasks. Um, Customer service, streamlining customer service. I think one of the most common use cases of generative AI is chatbots. Many companies have deployed chatbots. Some are just Gen AI powered, and some with RAG powered chatbots. Basically, what it means, they fed the chatbots with the context, and now you don't need a call center employee to respond to the questions. Basically, it can be as good as a call center employee, even because even a call center employee, or who's the chat assistants who sit behind the screen, they go through the company documentation to answer your questions. When they say, "Can I put you on hold and go away for 10 minutes?" Basically, they're going and reading the documentation to respond to the user question. With RAG powered chatbots, you don't need to go back for 10 minutes. It all has the information in it, and it can just answer the questions. What it does is, the intangible benefits that companies have is customer satisfaction. Um, Generating reports and summaries. Gen AI, RAG, and Agentic AI, they create a powerful suite for automatically generating summaries of extensive reports, even for research papers and other documents. It can distill vast amounts of text into actionable summaries. Mm, we talked about the RAG and Agentic AI. So these technologies enable organizations to transform their information management process, driving efficiency, informed decision making, and seamless knowledge sharing. Basically, this is how it is. You pass in the raw data through this funnel, and there are three key components of Gen AI: the Agentic AI, RAG, and Gen AI. And it streamlines information management, enables data-driven decisions, and facilitates knowledge sharing. Yeah, this is the interesting bit for developers, empowering coding with RAG and Agent AI. I guess most of you guys use some sort of Gen AI tools in your day-to-day coding. Can you hear me? Cool. Yeah. So yeah, GenAI can assist developers by suggesting code, generating code snippets, and even debugging existing code. It can accelerate software development, reduce errors, and improve code quality. Um, Enhances code generation, and agentic AI can automate repetitive coding tasks, such as generating boilerplate code, producing documentation, legacy code, refactoring, and performing Git operations, like creating brand, checkout, commit, and simple PRs, freeing up developers to focus on more creative and complex aspects of programming. AI agents can generate test cases, write unit tests for your code, saving you valuable testing time. Basically, all of these is to increase developer productivity. I think with DevSecOps and with the DevOps, in the mix, there is a lot of cognitive load on the developer. I don't know how it is in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if you guys go through the same cognitive overload, like you have to learn a plethora of tools. When you learn one tool, and next month you might be yeah, you might be faced with another tool. This has with agentic AI and with generative AI solutions, this helps ease the cognitive overload and improve developer productivity. Yeah, the the key benefits are cost savings, time efficiency, and improved decision making. Um, Gartner predicted that by 2025, organizations that have that leverage AI, Gen AI, for digital transformation see a 25% reduction in operational costs. That's a huge amount. Um, Using AI to automate tasks could reduce costs by up to 30%. These are some stats. I won't go into the details. And you can have Gen AI use cases in all these industries. I only listed a few, but the use cases can go beyond this. The challenges in implementing generative AI. The first one is lack of knowledge and technical know-how, data security, data leakage, the accuracy not being AI ready, the copyright and IP infringement, regulatory and policy compliance, ethical concerns like bias. I mean, this has become an issue with Google Gemini when it released, saying its model are, they are generating content. It created quite a storm when Google Gemini released its image generation LLM. Now in Europe, they stopped generating images until they fix this issue with bias. Integration with legacy systems still a challenge. Change management. Gen AI is the new cloud, so whoever has been through the cloud transformation know how tiring it is, or the stress that can cause. So one of the challenge is obviously change management, and the last is upskilling the workforce. Gen AI, like it or not, is going to reshape the professional landscape. Organizations are starting to train staff, and new job roles relating to AI will emerge. So it won't replace us, but I think what it does is we have to start working with Gen AI. So so we still have to upskill to be able to still be relevant. The biggest benefit of Gen AI is increased efficiency and productivity gains. And finally, early and strategic adoption of Gen AI will give organizations a competitive advantage over the peers. This is one of the use cases for a rail company that we're working to reduce the manual hours that they spend on checking the timetable, doing the fleet availability adjustment, and planning the timetable. So what the Gen AI solution does is we deploy this Gen AI solution, and it takes over the employees who spend hours every week going through the timetables, which are 600 pages of 600 pages. And you can imagine how much time we need to go through those 600 pages. And one tiny mistake can have consequences. So with Gen AI, you reduce the manual. When there is human involved, there is human errors involved. So with systems, with Gen AI systems, you can reduce that. So time. So I, I will leave the question answer after the demo. Can you see my screen, people? Cool. So this is a small system that I've built, um, and basically what it does is I've loaded a PDF. Um,
Sorry, brother Maqsud, the page you are sharing is just the StreamYard.
okay. Okay, hang on. How do I share my whole screen? I guess you can see now.
Yes, yes, we can see. Yes.
Okay, so this is my personal assistant that we built. As you can see, I can give it. This is all unstructured data. I can give it a PDF, a text file, a web URL, a directory, or a GitHub repository. Right. So I loaded my system with this Amplify or the product that we have, and I can straight away ask it questions about Amplify, right? And it says Amplify is Planet's revolutionary quality engineering system powered by generative AI. It gives everything basically. It summarizes. Um, you see, so it goes and um, you see, I've asked question about the metrics. It says the test tip generation amplify can reduce effort. So these are some of the metrics with the amplify product. Now I will load a web URL. Can you still see my screen? Okay, cool. So this is the URL in big data that I've loaded. I can now ask it questions about. You see, so what I'm doing is I'm building the contextual information of my GenAI system. So the next time when I come, I don't have to give it this information. It already has it stored in the vector database. So when I ask any questions about this, about scalability or automation, what it does is it goes and does a semantic search. And since all this information is stored in the vector database, it goes and fetches based on the context I see, relevant context, and then passes to the LLM. Um, I'll give an example of GitHub repository. Oops. Oops. It was working, and I don't know. There's always a problem with these demos. This bugger, it stopped working. Uh, I won't go and try and fix it now, but what I'll show you is, so this text file, useful commands. And it basically should have, the relevant context. Now there is another. I wish I could show you the GitHub. I will show you another one. So now this is using agentic AI, the AI agents. What it can do is, I created, this is similar to Jira. So I have two tasks here on my, has anyone used GitHub issues before, GitHub projects? You have, right? So basically it's similar to Jira. You create the, what you call, you create the ticket, and you have the task defined. And basically when the developer is ready, you work on the ticket. Now I can ask this assistant to, so it knows that there are two active issues. So I can say, and issue number 7 is analyze and identify issues, create a new branch, and make the changes you identified to fix the Java class. Now, I haven't tried this. Let's see. It should go and work on this ticket. It should create a new branch. While it's working on it, I'll show you. So these are, um, So these are some of the PRs that this, as you can see, um, it's not, it's created by this SL Codex. This is the bot. Basically, this is a GitHub app that you write and then you deploy on your repository. So you give basically it all the necessary permissions to create a branch, to commit to the repository, to create the pull request. Just before the demo, I created this task and asked it to do it. And this is the pull request that it created, and these are the changes that it made for me to review. Now let's see what this did. Fix Java issues and implement necessary fixes upon reviewing the errors or identified a potential issue. Okay, so it's identified a potential issue. It correctly shows when attempting to divide by zero, it does not handle cases where number one or number two are null. Let's add null checks for both number and number two, null pointer exception. Now, the reason why it's saying is this, it could be because of the prompt. Maybe the prompt I gave, uh, where is it? Let's go back to the pull request. It did not create a pull request for this, maybe because of the prompt. Like I said, it's your AI is as good as the prompt. So if I'm not being a good product owner, this is how the developer might respond. Sorry, this is what you get for the task that you gave me. Uh, just to give you guys a working demo, I will create another task. Sorry, we are running over time. First of all, I need to ask you guys, is it okay? Or shall I just conclude it? Boom.
Sorry, brother, your voice is lost. Voice is lost again. Your voice is lost, brother. We lost your voice again. We can't hear you. It's saying your browser has lost connection to your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, yes.
I think it's muting me automatically. I don't know why. Um,
That's all right. Yeah, no problem.
so it has created, as you can see, it has created the issue fix branch, but it just did not create the pull request. And another thing which I would like to show you is, so this is the reasoning. This is the trace. When I asked it to, when I gave it the context. So this is the thinking that's happening behind the scenes. So it's using GPT-4 model, and this is the thinking that's going on. Should I continue? And these are the tools that it's using. Um, what are the tools? So it created the branch name. So if you see, it says branch issue fix created successfully and set as the correct active branch. Um, it's saying, let's make necessary changes to the code. Now this thinking stopped. So now let's go back to the code and see whether it actually created. Okay, so it hasn't. So there is some hallucination happening here. Um, and like I said, it depends on the on the prompt that I gave it. So previously it created two PRs, pull requests, uh, and I'm just trying to mimic the previous successful ones. So I created this, then I can basically go ahead and say, just go ahead and work on the active issues, but it will take, I'll wrap this up soon. I will just ask it to work on, once again, there is an issue with this. It might complain. Okay, cool. Are you still with me, guys? Maybe it's concerning about my, and then beating me. I'll answer your question. Number 11. So this will be the final task, and after that, I'll take on your questions. And another thing which I would like to highlight here is, for in this instance, I'm using GPT-4. There are lots of other models, LLM models I can use. Like for example, ChatGPT has released the O1, which is fine-tuned for what you call programming, and it's still in beta, which means I don't have access to it. So as you can see, it created the pull request. So this is the latest pull request that it created, and the files changed, and version 1.2 to version 3. It's very like I said, it's very simple change, but it's capable of doing complex changes like, for example, the test cases here. It's managed to update cases. Uh, the last one failed because I think there is I need to update my prompt, to get the desired outcome. Like I said, if I don't give the right prompt, I won't get the right outcome. Just like with the developers. So that's it in the demo. I'm sure after the demo, if I ask it to load a GitHub repository, it will load the GitHub repository. It just happens with the demo. Um, yeah, so back to my PowerPoint slide. The questions time. Any questions, guys? I'm sure you have lots of questions. Uh,
Yeah,
but
brother.
yeah,
We do have lots of questions. If you don't mind, I'm going to scroll a little bit up. So starting from beginning. Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
lots of questions.
So yeah. So uh, we said that it
I
can
can't
be.
say why there is no sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Right?
I can. I'm just replying to the comments. No sound.
Yeah. No.
It's
So
really late.
we said that AI can be like a team member of the like the feature teams. So no
Yeah,
problem for this. Do you have any use case for this? Like, do you have any? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
yes,
for example, if you have a legacy project, right? And I'm sure if a company is old, um, they have you have this problem with developer retention. The developers come and go. They don't document the code, and concept if ain't broke, don't fix it. So the code is just in the in the back burner. So when the time comes to update it, it's a big task to upgrade from Spring Boot old version to the latest version. Before you do that, you need to understand the dependency, all of those. You can deploy the AI agents to go through the code, understand what it does, and then give the documentation, required documentation. Now, I haven't tried asking it to go and update the required libraries for me, um, but it definitely can. Like I said, it's and another thing which I want to say is I'm using, I think I've shared with you the LangChain for J library, which you can use, and the speed at which new versions are being released. And another reason why this could fail is because just before the demo, I had this all working. A major release happened, which means all my working code just broke. So I had to go and iteratively, it was not backwards compatible. So a lot of changes are happening very fast. I mean, with Java, you have Java version 21, and then I don't know after how many months or you have the new version, right? With LangChain, with AI, it's happening every day, every month. A new version is happening, new release is happening. So there are advancements being made. So I'm sure in the next 6 months, it should be in a position to automatically go and just upgrade from a deprecated library to a new version of library.
okay, nice, sounds good. And Anbu asked us also, how can AI be your pair programming? How can we use it also?
Pair programming. I think it's already used as pair programming. I don't know, guys who have access to ChatGPT. You have a code, you just copy and paste it in ChatGPT, and then it gives you an advice saying do this, do that. With GenAI solutions, I mean, with this, you can basically deploy it. So with pair programming, I understand where you're coming from. Basically, instead of agents thinking, with each other, you're saying you want to think with the AI agent. I mean, as of now, you can do it manually, not automatically, but
Yes.
AI agents can pay program. Like I said, GPT-4o can produce Java code, and then I can pass the GPT-4o code to Grok and say, this is from GPT-4, what do you
What's
think?
this grok?
And
Sorry,
then it
what's this
might
grok?
generate.
What's this
Grok
grok?
is Twitter's AI LLM.
Can you type it, please, in the Google, please?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Rock. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Google have their own LLM, which is called Google Gemini. Twitter have their own. Facebook have their own. And have sorry,
An
mis,
open AI has got its own.
OpenAI is ChatGPT. So yeah, there are different LLMs. There is also Claudia, which is Anthropic's LLM. There are many others.
Do you think in the
I
future
think
we will have? Do you think in the future we will have one centralized LMMs for all of these chatbots?
that's I, I, I'm not sure whether we will have such a scenario. I don't know because you're dealing with multiple big tech companies. I'm not sure. I can't answer the question.
Yeah, maybe as a service, so that the service is reading from all LMMs and gives you as end user one result from
You can
all.
already you can do that by agentic AI by deploying AI agents. They can talk to all the LLMs. You don't need to have one big LLM. I
Nice.
can now write a program which gets a response. It's basically, replying to Ambu's question whether you can pair program with AI. I don't know about me pair program with AI, but I mean, GitHub Copilot is kind of pair program, is it not? Have you guys used GitHub Copilot?
Yeah. We use also IntelliJ AI assistant,
IntelliJ
but
AI assistant, yeah.
it's going to answer you the question only.
The
So the
question, yeah,
question,
exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah,
you need someone who is
yeah.
like
So yeah,
interact.
that's all it can do.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
other
Thank.
questions?
Yeah, we have some other questions like what AI can't do. I
What
think
AI can't do?
AI.
Can
So
this be
this,
incorporated in any existing product for analysis of data? Humera, can you elaborate what you mean by any existing product for analysis? What product do you mean here? Internal systems? Is it a SQL database, a structured data, unstructured data? What is this product?
I think what he means here
But
is like
to
big
generalize
data.
the question, yes, you can. As long as you have AI ready data, you can plug Gen AI system into it and then expect some analysis, some good analysis. Uh, is it allowed in this for researchers? I think going forward, everyone's like here in the UK, the government is trying to incorporate Gen AI in the education sector, where they want the teachers to use Gen AI to improve, the teachers' productivity. It's used in the universities and in schools. It can be used in schools and universities to do the marking, which takes bulk of the professors and teachers' time. Yeah, and also to create lesson plans, all sorts of admin stuff with the teaching.
Nice.
Any other questions?
Yeah. So maybe the question that will
The
come.
tech stack, it's LangChain. I started off with LangChain for J using Java. But when I started with Java, it was very novel. It was being done as a community practice. It was buggy. So I stopped using LangChain for Java, and whatever you saw today was built using Python.
Okay, sounds good.
If there are mistakes or invalid info, fix them or feed you the invalid one. With AI, with Gen AI, there is no 100% guarantee information that what it gives you is 100% correct, which is why you still have this man in the middle to validate and curate. Be 100% accurate. but it will give you, thereabouts. I mean, most of the time, my experience has been it's accurate, but it's experience, but generally, if I have to generalize, industry standard is you still have to have the man in the middle. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. What is the library used to communicate? It's a it's written in Python. Basically, you can create any method in Java and annotate it to be used as a tool. So when you ask when the question is them, now since we annotate some functions, like for example in GitHub, check out the repository. I can create a function which basically the GitHub commands like git clone the repository URL, uh, and I can annotate the function which checks out the code and call it a tool. And then when I initiate or when I initialize the LLM, I initialize it with the list of tools. So the LLM knows it has the tool set it can refer to when it encounters which it has no knowledge about.
Your voice, brother. Yeah, can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
my headphone.
So the last question, brother, because I really don't want to keep your time a lot longer than this. Last question is that maybe from my side. So now, as a Java engineer, specifically as a Java engineer, what should I do to learn Gen AI or AI in general? Yes.
Um, can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Um, LangChain4j is a library, and even Microsoft has released the semantic kernel using which you can build AI systems, AI solutions.
Based on
It's
which
called
language? Java
in
language?
Java, in Java language. So you have Microsoft semantic kernel, and then you have LangChain4j.
Okay, so by using these two libraries as a Java engineer, I can learn them. Then I can also
Implement,
produce
yeah,
AI agents. I can
yeah, yeah,
produce AI agents.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So I don't have to learn the deep learning, the algorithms, and those stuff.
No, no. I mean, like I said in the beginning of my talk, with Gen AI, if you wanted to learn deep learning and all of those, then you want to be working in building the LLMs. In our case, I mean, in the reason for this demo is I'm not involved in doing deep learning and all of this stuff. LLM, there is already, the built LLM which has the deep learning, the neural networks, all the thinking capacity, all built into it. All I'm doing is calling the LLMs to give me what I want. So basically using the APIs. Even OpenAI have released APIs, Google Gemini have released APIs to access the LLMs. So all you need
Okay,
to do is how to access the LLMs. If you want to do
okay,
the deep learning, then you have to do big data courses to become a data scientist.
awesome. So what I understood is that for you as a Java engineer to use these libraries or frameworks like Lang4j, Microsoft Semantic, it's just for you that your main job is to call these APIs, okay,
Yeah,
and connecting these dots, into your application. That's it.
Exactly.
You don't have to
Exactly.
know all the details, the in and
Exactly.
out.
Yeah. All you need to know is how to call the APIs. You still have to do in Java programming, but you'll be calling the APIs.
So it is meaning very very near to what we do basically on our base on our daily actions, right? It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
near.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. Uh, Maybe we will conduct a session with you to give us like something about Lang4j and how to do it and how to maybe a simple demo, live demo, how we can do it together maybe in the future.
Maybe inshallah in the future.
Okay, I think I'm done with my questions. If you have any questions, any feedback,
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? I'll take it as a no. Thank you very much for inviting me, Brother Moth. It was a pleasure. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm a bit disappointed that the GitHub thing did not work as expected, but I'm sure after the demo, when I do it, it will start to work again.
it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
It's really really amazing session.
yeah.
It's for me, it's something that really, really amazing, very, very beneficial, very fruitful. Thank you so much, Brother Maqsood, for this amazing talk.
No, thank
And,
you. Thank you for inviting me.
and I would like really to thank all of the Java members who joined us here. And we are looking forward for a Lang4j session with live demo in the future, inshallah, brother.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Have a good time.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.